Okay, so let's get started with the today's tutorial. So like till the previous tutorial, we made a list of languages, but that was static. But now we are going to make it dynamic. So very first thing we are going to do, we'll move to our views.py file, and here you can see I have made this array global, so that this array can be rendered at any context. So we will also do that. So first what we are trying to do, that we have an array of languages, and index functions renders the array with the name array as well. Okay, so we'll move to our index.html, and there we see that when we move to our index.html, we have an input list is equal to languages and data list id is equal to languages. So that's perfectly fine. So what we are going to do, we are going to use Jinja template. So I'll show you one thing. For each language in array, okay, then we would end this for loop, and for, okay, the what we are going to define a option value is equal to each language. Yeah, good. So I told you that we take only a single option tag. Okay, then we'll move to our views.py file, and then here we would return an http response of q. Good. So let me check. uh, uh, Now we move to our page, then we type Ctrl Shift R. Okay, we would move to the index page. Yeah, this is the index page. So yeah, here we can see that we have a list of programming languages. Good. And we take anyone. Let's suppose we take Python, and then we submit it. We get a HTTP response of Python. So that's perfectly fine. So what we can do, so this works pretty fine. So we can test for any one more language. Let me see. Okay, okay. Let me see. C++. Okay, good. So C++ also works fine. Okay, and let me do one thing. When I type P, I get PHP, Perl, Delphi. We already discussed how this search engine works. So PHP, good. So this even works. Okay. So till now we were trying to get the HTTP response, but now we can do one thing. What we can do, we can make a we can what we can do. We want to store the each count of the what we do. So what we can do, we can make a global count, then we can render that global count dictionary. That global count is a data structure. Already we discussed that part in the coding question also as well. So I would quickly give an overview how this would work. So let me define global count. This was going to be a dictionary data structure. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, so this is very this works perfectly fine. Okay, one thing I would like to show you before I proceed, that if I press Ctrl U, so here you can see, so that when we used input list is equal to languages, data list id is equal to languages. So this was the for loop we had used here. For each language in array, option value is equal to each language and for. So here you can see with the how with the help of dynamic template. Basically we used Django template. So so what we used, we got a list of option values. So this is perfectly fine. So here you can see that with the help of a single for loop, we were able to generate a much more better way of generating the option values. Okay, so this way we could generate them dynamically. Okay, so what we can do now, we'll move to a views.py file. So global count is equal to dictionary. So if we'll make a if condition, if q in global count, then global count of q is equal to global count of q plus 1. Okay, else uh, if the q is already in global count, then global count of q is equal to global count of q plus 1, else for the first occurrence. Okay, so we already also discussed this in the coding question, the way we solved it first occurrence. Okay, so this is for the first occurrence, then global count of q should be initialized with 1. Good. So if it's already there, then we plus increment the value of the vote. Else we what we do, we initialize for the first time, we initialize it for 1. Okay, so this is very good. So let me do one thing, I'll move to the index.html, and here what we can do, we can print this till now. Uh, okay, but we need to do one thing. Okay, what we need to do, for q in global count of q is equal to global count of q plus 1, else for the first occurrence global count of q is equal to 1. Okay, so here you knew that we are working for the first occurrence, and if already exists, then increment the value. If already exists, then increment the value. Okay, and this was the first occurrence. Okay, so what we can do, we'll create a my dictionary. So array would be the array, and global count would be the global count. Okay, good. So then return, we're going to render this way in the same way. So I'll quickly what we are going to do, return render request index.html. so this is the index.html we are going to render, and the context is equal to my dictionary. Okay, and here now we have already rendered this global count. So I hope this should work now fine, pretty fine. So I would refresh this page. So let me do a single vote. So let me choose PHP. So here you can see the dictionary has a 1 count of PHP. So let me vote for PHP again. So we are going to test this. Yes, the vote count is 2. Okay, let me check any other languages. So Python is there. Yes, Python. Now PHP is 2, Python 1. So let me do another Ruby. Yes, PHP 2, Python 1, Ruby 1. So in the same way, C++. Yes, good, absolutely fine. Then C. Yes, good. So here you can let me do then again PHP. So it should be 3 now. Yeah, now it's absolutely 3. Okay. So this is, but this we are I'll quick quickly give an overview of this. So for the first occurrence, we used to initialize with 1, then we would increment the value. Okay, so this works perfectly fine, but we are noticing that we are only printing the raw dictionary here, but next time we would try to add progress bar with the table, and we are going to if possible, I'll give you a very good question on this, like if we but okay, till now let's try to do we're going to put a progress bar in the next video. So I'll catch up you in the next tutorial. Thank you guys, thank you so much.